changing. You know, will Facebook still be? They're getting into artificial intelligence, which is definitely the next big thing. I mean, you think things change fast. I was out to lunch with a friend of mine who owns the largest photo booth company in the world. They have 50,000 photo booths all over the world. I said to him, Alan, how could you stay in business? I've taken 15,000 photos, you know, with my phone. Most of them selfies, by the way. I said, how are you gonna stay in business when guys like me are taking selfies? Forget about my kids. You know, I mean, how is that all working out? He says, we have to adjust with the time. And he says, you have to understand a little bit about the psychology. How many of you have ever taken a photo in a photo booth, by show of hands? Honestly. Good, that's like most of you. Okay. Now, why did you take that photo? Go ahead. You can answer. Go ahead.
Well, it's different from a phone because you can actually get your printout quicker than you going home.
Get a printout. Good. That's one.
My girlfriend needs me.
What?
My girlfriend needs me.
Perfect. Okay. So let's stop with that a second. He says to me, he says, you don't understand the business. He says, this is not what you do. You do a lot of things. He says, but you don't do photo booths. I said, all right, talk to me. We've been trying to do business for years. He's been trying to get me to invest in the photo booths because it's a big expenditure of cash to buy them and then put them in very busy places to get the whole thing going. So it's all right. What do you have new? How do you stay in business? He says, first, you understand the psychology of a photo booth. You said it. The girlfriend. It's like an intimate, private, off-key, quirky, make faces kind of thing. It's kind of a little romantically related, okay? But if not, it's something that you do in a photo booth that you wouldn't normally do walking down the street, making crazy faces, and you get it out, and you know you're expected to do that, and you see it at weddings and at parties, and they bring all kinds of photo booths now at a lot of different events. It's become like a thing, you know, to do at some sort of an event. So I said to him, okay, it sounds okay. And he says, I have them in Dubai, I have them in every SeaWorld. We just did a deal with Major League Baseball. I said, now it's starting to sound interesting. What do you do? He says, people go in and it's like they're sitting in the dugout or they're on deck circle. So now they're taking pictures with the Yankees background and with the Dodgers stadium or whatever they want, and they're paying $5 for that.
I see like one of those photo booths that's like, it's called the Insta booth. And it's like an Instagram type of booth.
Right.
And I'm not really sure what it did, but I think it printed out the picture,
Right.
like in an Instagram type of fashion, like maybe with the same filters that Instagram uses.
Okay, this is probably a very similar thing. He also has a 3D machine that turns your photo into an emoji of yourself. How many of you use Bitmoji right now? Okay, so do I, so I'll send you mine as part of the homework assignment. I think emojis are a great idea. I mean, it's been around for a while, but now these customized 3D that look exactly like you, you know what I mean? They haven't gotten it exactly right. This guy's emojis where it takes the photo of you and makes little mini you is great. It works perfectly, and he's making deals with Major League Baseball, and just like with Bitmoji, right? You see all the different ventures that they have, you know, with different clothing companies. You could dress yourself in Ralph Lauren, you know, you could be in different, you know, movies. I mean, they're doing it right. This is the new paradigm. This didn't exist a few years ago. This is all new. This is some college kids like you saying, hey, maybe if we put this in with this, this will work, you know, and that's how these things happen, just like that, you know. It's nothing too fancy. Usually it's not from some old people sitting around talking about that. They've spent their whole life working and doing their thing. You know, it's exactly your age kids that are coming up with the new ideas that are driving commerce, driving social media, and driving society. But unless you know about these things, and back to, you know, the resources, you know, unless you're reading some of these things, you're not going to even know that they exist. In this Khan Academy has wonderful speakers. And we're going to watch some of them during the year. Elon Musk talks about Tesla Who wouldn't love to see an interview about how he got started? Okay, Kaufman Foundation is one of the largest sites as well. So this is Khan. Anybody know what Khan Academy is famous for?
Math tutor.
That's right. So they started a free tutoring business on site where Kaplan or some of the other companies, Kumon is really their competition, and they go through math problems, equations, and things like that, all free of charge. And he's a brilliant guy, this guy Sal Khan, for sure. Now he's broke out into various other things. Here's Mark Echo. We're gonna watch Richard Branson this semester. Everybody know who Richard Branson is here?
Yeah.
Oh,
Virgin Mobile.
Virgin, right, he started Virgin. Just to go back. Inc. magazine, Entrepreneur magazine. These are the things you really need to look at. Why spending $1,000 on it might actually be worth it. This is something you want to know about. Okay, you want to know that these Instagram stars that are out there, okay, the paradigm of celebrity is changing completely. Okay, these Instagram superheroes, is that for you?
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like,
Yeah.
let's say you see something like that, right, and you're really interested, but there's no stock, there's nothing to really actually, invest into it. So how would you go about, getting into that field?
Like what?
Or that industry? Like, let's say you read an article about a new industry coming about, but there's no stocks or anything, So how would you?
Well, you go to maybe some trade associations, some shows, maybe some meetups, and you get to meet some of the players and people in the business, even investors who like to invest in this kind of space. Okay, so, by reading some of this and understanding and seeing, I didn't know that Instagram, that, the top 1,000 hosts, guys and girls who have millions of followers, like Kim Kardashian, who'll post about a nightclub or a new vodka. She's getting paid $20,000, $30,000 for that post. Okay? And then from Kim, if Kim's number one, the girl who's number like 10,000, she's still making $1,500 a post for touting some vodka or something. That whole thing has changed. I mean, that business didn't exist even 5 years ago. It didn't exist. I mean, Facebook didn't even exist 5 years ago, maybe just about. But things change so fast. The Amazon model, the only thing changing with Amazon, it's getting bigger and bigger. It's going through the roof, Amazon. I mean, absolutely, continues to dominate, going into other countries. It doesn't have really the hardcore restrictions in a lot of the social media. Right now, Facebook is dying to get into China. They can't get into China. They shut it down, and no social media allowed in China. No video, none of all state-sponsored news and things like that. So they're having a very hard time. Unlike an Amazon who's selling goods, they're selling merchandise. They're not spreading, propaganda or spreading communications. They're just selling merchandise. So as you're looking at some of the businesses you go into, you need to look at the downside. I try to look at the downside more than I look at the upside.
Yep.
It's very important to look how much you can lose versus how much you can make. And as a businessman, as an entrepreneur, you're going to lose usually half the time. If half the time you're doing well and half the time you're losing money, those half that do well make up for all the other ones that do bad. Okay, but unless you're willing to try things and pull the trigger, nothing happens. You sit there and nothing happens, even, and anybody can start any business. Every time I go to Yankee Stadium, I'm always quite amazed by the entrepreneurship that I see just going to a ball game. Guys just taking, a cooler and selling beer or water or pretzels bootleg in the street, making hundreds of dollars in cash for 2 hours while the game is on. That's the epitome of entrepreneurship right there. And they didn't have to pay any big rents or any real estate brokers or any fees or any licenses. I mean, it's pure hustle. It's that real hustle. If you can hustle and do that and humble yourself to pedal and do some of the things to see if you have what it takes, then that's going to be really the ultimate goal. That's going to be the ultimate test. How many of you have a waiter or waitress here? Okay, how'd you do?
Pretty good. Bartender in Coney Island.
Bartender in Coney Island. So what do you think the secret of success is for a bartender?
Being personable
Mm-hmm.
and really not getting flustered under like hard conditions.
Really? Uh-huh.
So if you have if you have 10 people walking the door at the same time, you have to get to everyone. You have to be right.
Gotcha.
You have to be right.
Okay, good. How about pouring extra booze for good customers? Does that happen?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. one way to get a tip,
Keep them
huh?
happy, but keep you happy.
Remind me not to hire you. Okay, you back there. What's the?
Same. I'm a bartender in Barclay Center.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So same thing.
Big game tonight.
Yes.
Yeah, should do. You working tonight?
Not tonight.
No, okay. Should be a good game, Knicks against Nets.
Yeah. Those are always the busiest of
Yeah.
nights.
So that's the best way to know how good you're gonna be. Try to be a bartender. See how you are with people, because at the end of the day, business is about relationships and it's about people and how you get along with them and how you schmooze with them and you know, and the really greatest indicator is if you're getting big tips, that the people liked you. You know, I'm shocked every time I go into a restaurant, I have a bad experience. I'm like, what's their problem? Your job is to be nice. I mean, your job, for better or worse, is to be nice to the people so you make more money. And isn't that the ultimate validation? The ultimate validation is how much you came home with at the end of the night. You can't do anything if the restaurant's slow. That's not your problem, for whatever their reason is. But if it's busy and you have your tables, I don't understand, you know, what the rationale or the logic is for the bad service. Doesn't make any sense. It only hurts yourself. Maybe it hurts the restaurant, but it really hurts yourself because you don't really own the restaurant. But that's a good validator to take a look and see how that is. All right. Before I'm going to go around the room and ask you to introduce yourself, I just want to talk to you a little bit about the grading in the program. The homeworks, I only take by email. All right, so they're posted on the website. Okay, under homework assignments. Extra credit, we have the Super Bowl on Sunday, okay? So I'd love to hear which commercial you thought was the best and why, okay? $5 million commercial. So many years ago, when we first opened a restaurant called Southern Hospitality with Justin Timberlake as our partner, Pepsi came to us and they wanted to use the restaurant and use Justin in the Pepsi ad during the Super Bowl. It's about 5 or 6 years ago. And this was the ad where Justin got blown out of the restaurant. He drinks the Pepsi and he ends up bouncing around in people's backyards. You may have remembered it. It was a huge commercial campaign. In addition to that, they put the logo of the restaurant on 50 million cans of Pepsi. So that was kind of like a trade deal, you know, that worked out just fabulously. You know, just a little sidebar. All right, so the homeworks are on there. The homeworks represent 33% of your grade. I mean, it's a very important component, the homeworks, because since it is the second day, and I try to keep them very, very short. I don't want to overburden you. I know you have a lot of other things you have to do here. Class participation, 33%. This is a very interactive, engaging class. You're helping your fellow students as well. Okay, so 33% is class participation, including our selling days. One of you is going to be a superstar salesman and you don't even know it. Every year I start this class and I try to figure out, you know, who faked their way in, who bullshitted me on the ad, you know, who did these other things, you know. I'm cautiously skeptical. As a businessman, that's the way you should be, okay? Trust, but validate, as they say. For the accountants out there, trust, but audit. This way you'll make sure that you're safe at the end of the day. And then 33% is your final exam. And your final exam is you're gonna get in front of, up in front of the class and tell everybody why you should be the entrepreneur of the year, or why we should invest in your business. And you'll see the last 10 years students pitch their heart out. By the end of these 13 weeks, you're gonna be really good at that. I can tell you that right now. You'll be ready to pitch, you may be ready to go on Shark Tank, and you may be sitting here right now and have no idea what you wanna go to. So when I go around the room, just ask you your name and what you're thinking about. By no means is this in cement and that you can't change it by the time you're gonna come up and present. Oh wow, did the light just go on?
You have
That's
a
a good sign.
You have a bright idea.
Well, that was a bright idea, I like that. Who said that? Okay, good one. So you can change your ideas, nothing's set in stone today. I just want to get a little idea of what you're thinking about. Okay, let's start with you now. Sure, you can stand, say whatever you want to do. Yeah.
My name is Matthew. As far as what type of business I want to go into, I'm not really sure. I'm really just keeping my options open. I like taking things and running with them. So like if I see an idea coming through, like in high school, like do you remember Silly Bands?
That was big.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
dad's in retail, so I was able to get them for wholesale. So
Great.
I ended up selling those, making a little bit of money on that. I've worked in retail pretty much most of my life, so I know like talking to people, I've done that forever because of my dad's business. And I guess ever since then I've wanted to own a business of my own. So I was trying to do a few things. I learned how to basically fix cars, so I bought them, sold them, just a little extra money through school. But as far as like actual idea, I'm still trying to find that. And when I find that, I'll do everything I can to I guess learn everything behind it and be the best at it. And as far as the class, of course, I'm excited to learn from Professor Leibowitz, but I want to see what everyone else is doing, their ideas and their passions. Maybe I could pick up on that too.
Great, thanks, man. Thank you.
Do I stand?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay,
Whatever you
I'll
want to
sit.
do. Yeah.
My name is Vanessa. I would like to open an all-star cheerleading gym in Brooklyn because it's something that's not really popular up in New York in the 5 boroughs. So I'm really interested in that, something I've been doing since I was 13 years old. Currently, I'm an intern at NBC Universal for cable entertainment, and I'm trying to also get my way into Adidas brand. So I work at the Adidas at Soho.
Oh, spectacular. All right,
Hi, my name is Chris. I've pretty much worked in a variety of fields, from retail to office work to the service industry, and I basically am overworking for somebody else. I'm not sure which industry I would like to go in, but I'm thinking more along the lines of like esports or somewhere along the lines of film, but I'm leaning more towards esports. And hopefully I can process some more ideas and cement it.
It's a growing field. Fabulous.
What's going on, guys? My name is Saf. For the last year, I was working retail, and then the last 3 months, I was working as a door-to-door salesman to build my people skills. I always read that it's important to have selling skills, so that was my way to kind of cultivate that. And I actually currently run my own business. I have a digital marketing agency focused on marketing in the 2017 context for small businesses. So businesses might not have $1,000 to pay an Instagram influencer, but I can connect you with other cheaper options to still give you those results. And but that's not where my true passion lies. My real passion is I want to build new technology. I have app ideas, things that I want to do. So that's really where my passion is, innovating in tech.
Okay.
My name is Joseph Maxey. Originally, I didn't know what I wanted to be. That's why I took this class to find out what to do. But I originally started working for my dad at a school bus company, which he still is doing it. He's his own entrepreneur. And that's the idea that pushes me to be in this class. The idea I want to do is I maybe want to start a video game company or a tech company. Well, I worked in summer camp, so I got used to the kids talking to their parents. So I think that will help me get to know people better.
Beautiful. All right, I like that, baby. Video games are out. They are here to stay. They're the new movies. Movies are out, and now video games are made into movies, and they sell hundreds of millions. Yeah.
My name is Jay. Grew up in Coney Island. Worked retail for most of my life, but I think my favorite retail work when I was working with just me and my brother, and we would put our money together, buy sneakers, and then resell it for the street price. I think the biggest one we had was when the Yeezys came out. We were hiring other people. We were paying them $50 per person. Lined up for us. We paid for the shoe. So per each shoe, it retails for around $200. But in total, we spent $300 per shoe, and we would sell it for almost $1,000 each. And we were making good money like that.
Yeah.
For an idea, I'm not really sure, but I'm leaning towards an app since my brother is in computer science, so have someone that has the background of computers and stuff.
Beautiful. Good. Anxious to hear what that'll be someday. Great. Thank you.
So my name is Jalal, and ever since I was a little kid, from like the age of 7 or 8, I've been working with my dad at like a flea market. And so basically he taught me everything I know, like and just recently I started wholesaling, right? I would just go to different people, like find different connections, buy cheap, sell for a lot, basically just make as much money as possible and like get rid of whatever I buy like as fast as possible. I don't really know what I want to do, but I just know that I want to work for myself. Like, I don't want a boss. So, that's why I'm here.
Wow. The wholesale business is a fantastic business. I mean, even expanding that, taking that. What I love about wholesale is you're not tying up your weekends for the most part. You're not tying up your nights. A lot of this wholesale business is like 8 in the morning to 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. They sell their stores, they close up their shop, and they go home and they have like a normal life, and they can make a lot of money. So I love that wholesale business. So maybe expand upon that.
Hi, hello, my name is Slava, and I first started off working for my mom in my mom's flower shop. She's a florist, and I didn't really do the bouquets themselves, but I was more of a cashier, talking and making them like buy more flowers, flowers. I was encouraging them. Then I realized I want to start something of my own. So when the vaping started to evolve, I got into the vaping business. I got into making my own liquids for vaping. So I started my own company. It was under the name Mermaid that we reached like a whole borough of Brooklyn. Every single store had her juice. But then as time went on, there was some bad decisions that were in our way. It was me and my 2 partners, my best friend, and just some person would hire experienced business because I was too young. That was a year or 2 ago.
Right.
But the thing is...
So what happened? Tell us.
Okay, so vaping was minimal, but it was evolving. And it evolved way too fast for us to actually do something about it because we didn't really have enough capital or enough investment of ourselves and money. And so we started off making 15 milliliter bottles, which was like the standard. Everybody loved them.
Would you fill them yourself? Or you just buy them?
I did it myself for the first time. Then we had a lab make it for us. So
Gotcha.
so the physical labor was tedious. It was so tedious. Making it,
I bet,
mixing
yeah.
it was insane. Make it for every store, batches of 100. It was unlimited work. So it was like, just pay the lab and do it for us. But we started off making 15 milliliter bottles, and the thing is, by the time we got across the borough, we didn't really have enough to evolve, which was the 30 milliliter bottles. Now they want only those, but we're like, we still have so much inventory of 15
Right.
milliliter bottles. What are we gonna do with them? We can't. So we ended up buying 30 milliliter bottles, and we got to sell off some part, but guess what? 60 milliliter bottles came out.
There.
It was
So
just
that's a great story.
It was just
it goes to
insane.
show you how things evolve. I can't think of a hotter industry than vaping. No, nothing could jump out as me as something that took the country by storm. And, you know, is it just like smoking and the e-cigarettes? To me, I think it is, you know, and even the pot smokers who do it legally in California and Colorado, you know, it's all very regulated. It's all, you know, you need to have the right things going. But it was the biggest industry that I ever saw. But look how it evolved. And he had all this inventory, and then he had to sell it off. But we look forward to hearing more about you during this semester. Hi.
Hi, my name is Imran Sikandar. I actually am a veteran. I just came out of the military. I actually, after a certain point in the military, you have to have a degree to enhance your career. So I had a child. I got out I think a couple of months ago, and I was in school. I've never been in retail. I've never thought about a business until you came to the class, and I was like, you know, he has a point. Like, you know, I should actually look at my life from that point of view if I can do something for my own self. So I actually came to school for a degree so that I can further go back to the military and, you know, go to officer school and all of that. But now I'm very interested. I'm here and I see how other people look at life, and it's just a new beginning for me.
Well, thanks for your service. We have quite a few military people in the class that have gone on to do some really interesting things, you know. That discipline is important too. I mean, you come in here with the right attitude and an open mind to do things, you know, so that's great. Okay.
Hello everyone, my name is Flavio Perez. What's on my mind is how I'm excited, how I'm in a group of people, I'm in a group where like all you guys have great ideas, and while you guys were talking, I'm like, I would like to work there. You, and it's like now I know why Mr. Leibowitz wants to like work with us, because we have pretty good ideas, and I see that you guys are working in retail and restaurants, and I feel like I cover for my dad in a restaurant on some weekdays when I can, and I think it's a pretty good way of gaining like respect for how to be respectful and how to treat customers, or like what they want. I feel like working like in a restaurant, just how you were talking about.
You'll get the people skills in order to do anything your whole life. Or you hate people, or you're introverted and you're like, oh man, that's the last thing I want to do, is start interacting with people selling jewelry and getting close to them. And like, you know, so you're going to love it or you're going to hate it. But yeah, absolutely. Okay, great.
Hi, my name is Demi. I had some work with a tech startup with SEOs and like app development. I'm not really much with tech. I was more like research and marketing.
Okay.
Due to personal reasons, though, my involvement kind of decreased with that.
Okay.
I'm very interested in the field of law. I might go on to be a lawyer, start my own law firm.
Great.
But when you came into the class, I was kind of drawn to the whole entrepreneur thing. Yeah.
Okay. Right on. Okay. Yeah, law's a great field. I mean, you know, listen, you could use the law degree in any way you want, either practicing law or in business, like the accounting degree. It's great to be able to look at things and understand them through a lawyer's eye. Great.
Hey everybody, I'm Justin. I have done a lot of odd jobs and hustles, from selling packs of gum out of my high school locker to working as a recruiting intern for an international bank. And what I wanted to do for a business is that I know a lot of people who want to become content creators on YouTube and other online video formats. So I provide a business where I shoot, edit the videos, and provide search engine optimization help for them. So I want to expand upon that I'm doing now.
Okay, this is a field that is just going through the roof, you know, and we're gonna have some people that come in that actually do some of that stuff too.
What's up, guys? My name is Cody. I'm an accounting major, and I kind of planned on going into accounting until I saw the presentation. I kind of realized that sitting behind a desk isn't really what I want to do for the next 30 to 40 years. So me and my friend, I forgot your name, but we also had the same idea. A small marketing firm for small businesses to really, because most of those people don't really know how to use social media, so we wanted to kind of bring them up to date like that. So.
Sounds good. Listen, a lot of the small businesses that operate do not know that they can buy local Facebook ads, and they're doing things the old-fashioned way forever. And a lot of these are owned by people over 50 years old who don't really have the skill set to understand what it takes today. Right, about influencers. Who knew? You ask anybody who owns a retail store what an influencer is, they'll have no clue at what you're talking about for the most part, So it's a new way of doing things today. If you can command that language, you'll do great. Well, good luck with that. Mike.
Hi, my name is Kayla. I'm from New Jersey, and I'm actually a model. And I've worked really hard figuring out how to market myself and figure out how to sell myself to different agencies. And I recently signed with Wilhelmina here in New York, so I'm really excited about that. And there's a lot of self-love projects going on right now. I'm obviously a curvy model, not a straight size 0 model. And there's a lot of self-love projects and different things targeted toward more real women. So I'm not exactly sure what I want to do as far as the project with this program, but I know I definitely want to do something probably more in fashion and towards real women.
Sounds spectacular. Good luck to you. Yeah, so the modeling business. Okay, go ahead.
So, hi everyone, my name is Maria, and right now I'm working for someone who sells on Amazon, but I help them to package and labeling and stuff. I'm pursuing a finance major basically just because for a major, right? My point of being in college is to gain experience in general about business, and so I wanted to be, I am in this program. When Professor Leibowitz, is that how you pronounce it? He came to the class and it inspired me to be in the program because since very little I wanted to have a business of my own, but it's from the transition to where I lived before to here, it's it was very hard. And so basically my parents had a business before and they just lost it because of the situation, and just I wanted to have my own business to help my family as a whole.
Wow. What business were they in?
They were in a kind of Perthmark, but not in the United States.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
It was in South America.
Right. Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, the economy just went back.
Did you live in South America?
Yeah, I lived in South America.
Wow. They're from all over the country here. Jersey, we have from South America. Well, good luck to you.
Hi, I'm Viola, and I really want to open an animal shelter where, because a lot of animals are mistreated, and although there's a lot of animal shelters out there that end up killing animals after a few days if they don't get adopted. So I really want to help. And I'm currently an art intern at a nonprofit organization called TEAL, Tell Every Amazing Lady About Ovarian Cancer. And they're the ones that inspired me to open a nonprofit organization myself, because it's really interesting how a small organization that started a few years ago is able to help so many people. And I'm really shy, so I hope that this class can help me.
Sure, absolutely. Right on. Let's hear it. Fantastic. Go ahead.
I think I have the best seat here because I get to see everybody. But yeah, my name's Eric. I'm a finance major. I tried everything pretty much. As far as business, I trade stocks. I have my own small business. I resell shoes. What's your name?
Jay.
Eric. Nice to meet you. Yeah, I'm a little bit shy. Yeah, I'm just trying to help my family, to be honest. Trying to get through this. Just put them in another pedestal.
That's great. Really,
Yeah,
really great stuff.
I try
Thinking about
everything, yeah.
your parents is a big thing.
I'm really into fashion, gaming. I have an open mind to everything, so.
Beautiful. Let's use it in this class. Yeah, listen, I think we have a really wonderful class. As you see, everybody has their own little ideas. I mean, I've heard ideas from bubble tea, which I never knew existed, what bubble tea was. What a huge business that is outside of America. There's somebody who came in with cubed sushi over rice a few years ago that opened up his own little business. So he took sushi to another level and made it inexpensive, put it over rice. And then talk about animals. We've had plenty of people come in here, and whether they're going to do this business or not, I still think it's such a great business. There's a lot of people that are allergic to dogs and cats. I'm one of them. So I can't have, even though my 3 kids love dogs, I can't get it because I get allergic. So there's a business of people coming into your store to play with the cats and play with the dogs on an hourly basis, and then they go home. They go back to their roommate, their husbands, whatever, but it's like a place because they can't bring back the cat or the dog, but they still want that experience, you know, doing that, and I thought that was a really good idea. So first thing you should know, no idea is a stupid idea. Okay, since you're entrepreneurs, what happens is all these non-entrepreneurs, these non-believers, okay, I call them non-believers, you know, because you want to get far away from that negativity, okay? You want to be around positive people like the people here. Everyone has each other's email, because I copy it on here. There's nothing, you know, we're going to hide. We're going to try to help each other. We're going to try to work in little groups and get some things going together. And doesn't matter whether you're shy or you're not, by the end of the semester, everybody's going to be able to do everything just fine. All right, so what I want to do now is I want to play a video for you. One of Brooklyn College's finest graduates, a guy named Harold Klein. Harold developed a series called the Young Entrepreneur Series. These are students around your age that have gone on to do just some spectacular things. And Harold each year allows the class to use his series that he sells to colleges all over the world. So we're going to play you the first segment of that. Okay, that is the first section. I just want to hit the lights there. Thanks. So during the semester, we're going to learn from some of these videos. How many of those names did you recognize? Everybody here know the firm Birchbox?
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, here's 2 college girls that disrupted an entire industry. I mean, something so simple, okay? Like a subscription box that goes out with samples from other cosmetic companies. They didn't even have to pay for a lot of this. They were glad, the cosmetic companies, just to get the boxes in there, okay? Tony Hsieh from Zappos talks about how he got into the shoe business and later bought by Amazon for $1 billion. So you're going to get to learn a lot from people, again, your age, you know, and hopefully you could build on this. It's going to take a few minutes. I just want to run through these 10 secrets from IBD that I think you really should take this to your dresser or to your refrigerator. Because I found that these 10 things are really the secret to being a successful leader and entrepreneur. And sometimes it's hard to really adhere to all of these, okay? But, you know, I'm just going to go through them really quick. How you think is everything. Always be positive and think success, not failure. Beware of a negative environment. We talked about that earlier. People telling you your idea is dumb or stupid. There's no such thing as that. And make sure you write down your ideas. Okay, it's very important, even on a scrap of paper, and put it away for a later day. Because what I find is I forget great ideas all the time. And when I was younger, I would call into my answering machine and wait for the 4 rings to go and hope I don't forget it. You know, by the time that my phone picks up and I leave myself a message. Now I text myself all day long. You know, I make myself crazy. There's more ideas, but I'd rather have hundreds of ideas sitting there than not thinking at all, because that's going to always hit your curiosity. Decide upon your true dreams and goals and write down what you want to accomplish. It's much easier to achieve something when you write it down and you hit those benchmarks. Take action because goals are nothing without action. Like I said, stop being a dreamer. This class is not about dreaming. This class is about dreaming and doing. Okay, we're gonna do things in this class. Okay, never stop learning. We talked about that earlier. You have all the resources all off the website. Keep reading, because as you read, things going to apply to your business. On top of it, you're gonna be the Jeopardy champion of your family someday. So keep that reading going. It stays with you. Be persistent and work hard. Okay, it's very important to get up at a certain time, try to get back at a certain time, because being regular, you know, with your work hours is a very important tool. Getting the necessary sleep, because you'll burn out, as you heard on the video. You can burn out very quickly. If you're on a hot roll and you have something that's really hot, and like you want to just take advantage of it to the end, you know, like the pet rock or the mood ring, you know, things like that were just so hot. Learn to analyze the details, okay? Again, you don't have to be a CPA, you don't have to be the best bookkeeper, but you need to understand whether you're making money or you're not, okay? Before it's too late. And if you're going to investors or to a bank, they want to see that you know what you're talking about, okay? So take your time and you'll be fine. Focus your time and your money, and don't let other people or things distract you. I had a student here who had a t-shirt shop in Valley Stream Mall, and his giveaway to the class was, I thought that this is really a place for my friends to hang out. So instead of doing business at his kiosk in Valley Stream Mall, his friends were hanging out, looking to meet girls and take away from the business, but he ended up doing no business, and his father signed personal guarantees on the lease. So, I mean, he lost a lot of money. So you got to watch out. He was a little immature to go into business. Don't be afraid to innovate and be different, right? That was Steve Jobs' theory, and it holds true today. Okay, Apple is a huge company today because of his vision. Okay, not meaning that Apple can't go out of business, because I question whether Apple could sustain what they've been able to do, especially in light of everything else. Because there's no doubt in my mind or in anybody's mind, okay, that this device should be able to be made for $20, $30 maximum. Then what's going to happen? When every 7-Eleven is selling these for $30, okay, and it's connected up to your cloud where all your music and everything is hanging anyhow, then what happens to Apple? Hey, guess what? It's no longer $700. It's $30, and they're coming in from China and Korea, and maybe from Vietnam. They're only $15. Okay, so we're getting away charging $700. How many of you think that's a real possibility that could happen to Apple? Okay.
In some countries, they have some phones that are very similar to Apple.
Oh, no doubt about it. And you know,
Yes.
and they have them where you can open them. You know, what are those called again? Non-locked phones, unlocked phones. So I mean, once you have unlocked phones down, and people in other countries, they use their phones. You know, we just got Venmo. I mean, Venmo's been a part of the world for at least 5-6 years in countries that they never had a computer before in their life before they had a telephone. Okay, so don't be afraid to innovate. Deal and communicate with people effectively. Don't lose your temper. It's very easy in business to lose your cool, and that's one of the worst things you can do in business. People don't like to do business with hot heads. Okay, and the craziness eventually dies down. In one way or the other, somehow it does. There'll be good days and there's going to be bad days. Number 10, and most important thing, be honest and dependable, and take responsibility for your actions, or else number 1 to 9 will not matter. And it's very easy over your time to come out ways to cheat and to try to think that there's shortcuts. There's no shortcuts in business. Persistence, hard work, you know, and if you're looking to scam, okay, there's lots of ways to do that, okay, but you always get caught. Your partner will catch you, the government will catch you, Bernie Madoff will catch you, something's gonna happen, you're gonna get caught, okay? Eventually you trip up, and so if your mind doesn't go that way, you stick to, hey, how do I make a good living honestly, and how do I take this concept, you know, how do I take Shake Shack and open up hundreds of them around America? How many of you like Shake Shack hamburgers and shakes? How many of you think it's overrated? I can't see standing around lines.
I
What do
think
you
it's
think?
overpriced.
Overpriced.
Yeah, you're paying like $20 for a meal every time for like a shake and fries.
Well,
and
yeah,
stuff.
I mean, I say the same thing about
Yeah,
Starbucks.
sure.
I go to the bagel store, they have better coffee, it's $2, this would be like $4.99 plus whatever it is over there, and, how they get away with it, I don't know, they make you imagine all kinds of things that's going to happen. Okay, do we have the sign-in sheet somewhere? I do take attendance, okay, it's a very important thing that you show up. And, this is not the type of class where you're going to be able to do it. Okay, pass this around. Okay, next week, we're gonna hear from 2 students. And again, we're not holding you to any kind of a business that has to be, but you're gonna stand in front of the class and you're gonna talk about it. So we have Justin and Vanessa. Where's Justin and Vanessa? Okay, great. Okay, so next week, you're gonna talk about your business. You can take a look online, okay? It's nothing too crazy, too fancy. You don't have a business yet. You're not getting judged on. This is not Shark Tank, okay? You're here, and everybody's gonna do it throughout the semester. All right, have a great week. Thank you.